Woo boy, did I ruffle some feathers or what? In the video I did a couple years ago about rust converter paints, I apparently didn't do the POR-15 correctly. And man, the backlash in the comment section. Apparently you're not supposed to shake it, and if you shake it, it's like kryptonite for this paint and it will not work. And if you don't top coat it, even worse. As I mentioned in part 2 of that paint test comparison, if it was really that important, how come they didn't put that in bold? You would think that they would put it right at the top in bold letters, highlighted, circled, arrows, dummy, look here, this is super important, you're gonna ruin the paint if you shake it. Instead, it's way down in there. This whole long list of instructions you have to read and you have to follow it exactly to a T. And so I shook it unknowingly because, I mean, really, who reads the instructions? And that was a big no-no. I'm not really sure what the logic behind that is, but it does clearly say in the instructions not to shake it. So in this video, we're testing that theory. Does shaking POR-15 really matter? So I found this piece of rusty metal out in the dirt. I think it'll do just fine for this test. So let's give it a good cleanup using the wire brush. This time we're going to actually read the instructions. Application procedures. Surface preparation. Rusted surfaces are best. Seasoned metal and sandblasted surfaces are also good. Surface must be dry and free of grease, oil, or other foreign substances. To coat smooth metal surfaces, first use POR-15 cleaner degreaser to clean and degrease the surface. Now this says to do a 4-to-1 mixture. You gotta mix it with hot water. Keep wet 10 to 15 minutes. Then rinse with water and allow the area to dry. Second, spray POR-15 metal prep on the surface full strength. Apply with brush, roller, spray, or dip rusted metal directly into solution. If bubbles appear, smooth them out with the sponge, cloth, or brush. Keep wet for 15 to 20 minutes. Then rinse with water and allow to completely dry. Use of rust converter products are not recommended as they may affect bonding of POR-15 metal prep. Provides the best surface profile and greatly improves POR-15 rust preventative paint. Adheres best to surfaces with tooth. Stir contents thoroughly before painting. Do not shake. Refrigerate unused portion of POR-15 for longer shelf. 1 to 2 mil thickness. Always apply a minimum of 2 coats. So now we're going to apply some paint. First, let's get the paint out. Be very careful. Whatever you do, don't shake it. Don't shake it. Don't shake. Don't shake. Don't shake. Don't shake. Got it. Just give it a stir. Making sure there's nothing settled on the bottom. Just give it a little stir. Careful not to shake it. There you go. So we'll let it dry, become tacky, and we'll put on a second coat. No shaking. It's been about an hour or so, and I think it's finally to the point where it's tacky. It's got a little bit of stickiness to it, but it's not coming off on my gloves. I think that's good to put a second coat on. Once again, not shaking. I'm just gonna gently open the can. that dry, and we'll come back and do the other side. So this is the side I'm actually going to shake the paint on, and here we go. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty. Okay, good and shaken. Shake, 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 shake. Shake it. I'm actually going to use a new brush for this one, and 2 thin coats. So we'll wait for that side to tack, and then we'll apply the second coat. Shaken. This finally has some tackiness to it. So here we go again. Shake. We'll shake it up. Shake it up. Good song. Shaken, stirred. I'll let that dry overnight. Time to hit the hot tub. Come back tomorrow and we'll top coat it. Okay, so there's a little bit of confusion on how to top coat this paint according to the instructions. We look here under application. So if a top coat is to be done at a later date, apply a very light dust coat of primer over tacky POR-15 and let it dry. Full priming and finishing can be then done later. So then we go over here, top coat application over POR-15 prior to finish paint if using primer. After second coat of POR-15 has been applied, wait approximately 45 minutes to an hour until the POR-15 coating is tacky. Then apply a light dust coat of primer and let it dry. Next, apply a full coat of primer and follow normal top coating procedures. If primer is lacquer based, apply dust coat only after POR-15 is dried to the touch. And that's all I see on here as far as top coating procedures go. So I'm going to prime this, and in the instructions it just says to make sure POR-15 is dried to the touch before you apply lacquer base. And the reason for that is because lacquer base has the lacquer solvent, and it is known to soften whatever paint you painted over as it dries. So that's probably why POR-15 says to make this dry to the touch before you apply lacquer. This is not lacquer. According to their website, this is an oil-based enamel. Otherwise, it would say lacquer. Alright, and here we go. This is what we're starting with. Came out pretty good. I got it labeled so we won't forget which is which. And today is Friday, March 6th, 2020. And it's actually perfect because we're supposed to get some rain and maybe even some snow tonight. Check back in a year and we'll see what it looks like. This year was about an average year. We got about the average amount of snowfall and the average amount of rain. In fact, I would say it was almost a dry year again. Although about 2 weeks ago, we had about 1.5 feet of snow. but lately it's been about 60 degrees, so all that snow has since melted off. But we just so happened to get a trace amount of snow last night, and already in the morning it's already starting to melt off. So it's 1 year later, it's March 6th. It's been sitting here all year long out in the elements. So let's get this thing inside and take a closer look at it. I'm not going to tell you which side is shaken, which side is stirred, so don't cheat and go back and look at the other part of the video. See if you can tell which side was shaken, which side was stirred. As we look really close across the bottom here, you can see air bubbles all the way across in both sections. In fact, I would say probably this side over here is a little bit worse. In the part that's not top coated, you can see the rust sort of poking through on both sides. Both sides look identical. It's thick in some areas and some of the rust is starting to poke through a little bit in some areas. In fact, I would say this side over here almost looks a little bit thicker than this side. So if you had to choose a side, which side would you pick to be the winner? The left side or the right side? If I had to choose, I would say the right side is probably slightly thicker, but it's super close. So, which side is shaken and which side is stirred? Let's find out. The left side is stirred and the right side is shaken. So, which one did you pick, the left side or the right side? Now, what about top coating? A lot of you mentioned that POR-15, if it's exposed to UV or sun rays, it has to be top coated, implying that sun destroys the paint. Well, if that's your point of view, then apparently you didn't read the instructions. Check this out. Must I paint over POR-15 to make it last? No, but POR-15 has an ultraviolet sensitivity and must be top coated if continually exposed to sunlight. Once top coated, POR-15 will remain effective for many years. Will the sun destroy POR-15 if I don't top coat it? Right here it says no. Your POR-15 protection will remain, but the sun will change its appearance cosmetically. That's why we recommend you top coat it. So it's just going to change the appearance. It doesn't change the effectiveness if you top coat it or not. In reality, any of these rust encapsulator paints would benefit from being top coated, but that's one more expense and one more time consuming step. And time is money, friends. So in reality, that's two more expenses. So does shaking it really destroy it? I mean, the results kind of speak for themselves. I followed the instructions to a T, still the same results whether you shake it or stir it. Anyway, I hope this helps you out, and if it does, then be sure to like it, be sure to subscribe. T-shirts are coming soon, so look out for that too, and I'll see you on the next one.